Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial. My name is William. In this tutorial I would like us to look at Laravel Schedule. And Laravel Schedule allows you to define recurring tasks or commands that should be run at specified intervals. These tasks include sending emails, sending reminders, generating reports, or performing even database maintenance. Let us go into it and see. We can work on a simple example and then we will go on like that. So let us first of all go to app console kernel, and here is where we can be able to define our schedules, or in other words to run our schedule. So you can see in this file we have several things, and the first thing that we have here is that of course there are those things that are imported up here. We have a protected function schedule, and here is where we are able to put our commands, or in this case our whatever it is that we are scheduling. So in this case you can see schedule command inspire. So in this case this command must have been created in app commands, and then now it's being run hourly. We will not be able to go ahead and create a command. There's a video in which we actually had a command creation of commands. I will refer you to that video, and probably I'll be able to put it at the end screen. And then after that, here we are loading, or in other words loading commands, and we are also loading the routes. But then what I want us to do is just perform a cleanup of the Laravel database, in this case the users table, by deleting the users who have not verified. So in this case, over some time you can be able to check the users who have not verified their emails, and in this case these users cannot be able to access the application, so we can be able to do away with them after a while, in order to just reduce the number of users in our table and make our table only serve the users who are verified. So in this case I would like to just put a schedule call here. So I'm going to have schedule call, and here you can be able to put everything that maybe runs within the specific timeline. So in this case, if it's every minute, you can put everything that runs every minute, or in other words the functions that is looped through every minute here. So in this case we can have this call, and then we can have function like that, and then inside this function then we can be able to put whatever command or maybe action that we want to carry out, and then we can be able to chain and say after how long. So here I want to write every minute, and remember you can have a function that is, or a scheduled function that is run every single day, every 24 hours, even after every 4 hours, even after every 12 hours, and so on and so forth, or even once or twice every single day, and so on and so forth, or even monthly. So here you can say every month or something of that sort. So then let us go ahead and be able to put what I want us to have. In this case we have user. So in this case we are calling the user model, and we are saying where null, and we are checking for all the users in our table where email verified at is null, or in this case it doesn't have a value, and we want to delete these users, just like that. So we have our function ready. So in this case this function will be run every minute. Obviously for an application, probably this you can be able to do a cleanup every month for this case, or maybe every 2 months or every 6 months, and so on and so forth. But for this one I'm going to run it every minute to just see that it works. That is the only reason why I'm doing it every minute. So let us go ahead and be able to create some users in our database table, and I've not created the database, so let me just run XAMPP. So you click on that and then be able to run XAMPP, and then connect to the database. So I will start XAMPP like that, And then now in our machine, we have a database that is called Laravel. And it is the one that I'm going to use. So I'm going to just go to terminal and run migrations afresh, because that database was used for a different project. So I'm going to just say PHP artisan migrate fresh, because it's already in existence. And so this function is going to perform sort of like remigrate our tables. And then after that, I would like to, as we are waiting for it to finish, of course it has finished, the tables have been migrated. I want us to go to factories, and I want to create two types of users. Some users who have been able to verify their emails, and others who have not. So such that we will delete the ones who have not verified their email. So in this case, we will go to let me first of all create, inside factories we have a user factory which assists us to create users. And in this case, you can see we have name, email verified at. This one is the one that you'll be activating for one set of users and removing for the other set of users, like that. And then every other thing you remain like that. So let us first of all run this seeder to create users that are verified. And in this case, let us create how many users? In this case, we have this first line in our database seeder. When you open database seeder, you will find that there is this first line which creates 10 users in our database. And I'm going to uncomment it, and we're just going to create 10 verified users. And then I will also go and edit the factories to create 10 unverified users. So here I'm going to say PHP artisan db seed to seed 10 users in our database. And as you can see, if I check our database, so localhost php myadmin, you will find that we have a table called Laravel, and it has 10 users. As it opens, I would like to go and modify also the user factory. And in this case, I do not want email verified at to be created. So let me just comment it out like that and create 10 users that are not verified. In other words, in that column that we have user verified, or in other words, email verified at, we will just have it as null. So in this case, you can see we have 10 users. So let me create 10 more such that we have a total of 20 users. So I'm going to say PHP artisan db seed again. In this case, because we have uncommented it here, so we are going to create users that have not been verified. In this case, if we refresh again, we are going to find we have 20 users in our table. And when I click to just open the users table, as you can see, let me try and zoom in a little bit to maybe something like 200 and move this one on the sides. So as you can see, when we look at our table, we have the names and every other thing. But let me zoom out a little bit. It's 200. Let me zoom out a little bit such that we can be able to see all the columns. Yes, as you can see, we have this column called email verified at. For some of the users, you can have some timestamps of dates inside here at the time in which the emails were verified. So in this case, their emails are verified in our application. But then you can see the others where we're having null. So I want us to run our command and then see how we can be able to do that. Now, because we are calling the user model here, so we need to import the user model, and this is in kernel.php, the first place where we had some code. So here I'm going to just import the user model. So use app models and then user, like that. Then now when we run the command now to begin scheduling our work, so in this case I'm going to just say PHP artisan schedule, and I put a full colon and write work, like that. as you can see, it says running schedule task every minute. And you can also say PHP artisan schedule list. In this case, it will give you a list of the schedules that you have. So let us check our table and see if there are any changes. So you refresh, because we need to find that these things that we are having as null deleted. So let us try again. Yes, as you can see now, the users are now not 20, they are 10, and all the users where email verified at was null, they have been deleted. I want us to go ahead and just focus on this user number 1, and I want to set the value of email verified to null. And once I do that, then what is going to happen is that this one is null as of now, and when we check here, it will be able to, in a short while, run another callback, and then we can be able to delete that one user from the table. So in this case, this command will be able to help your tables to not to have users who are not verified filling your application in this case. So the use cases for application, you can be able to decide on that, but as you can see, probably now I should check, and you will find that now the user with ID of 1 is deleted. Now we only have 9 users in our database table. So basically that is everything about running the schedule tasks. But obviously, if you are running it in an application server, in this case on not on localhost, you will have to add this this schedule to the cron jobs, the cron tabs, and then be able to do that. So more about this tutorial, you can be able to just go and read through the documentation in laravel.com under schedule, and you can be able to get a better understanding. But then an implementation of this, or an implementation of sending emails, that we have been able